At this time, Commissioner, I'll turn the floor over to you for the city report.
Okay, well, good morning, Dunedin, and I am here with good tidings this morning. It's just my happy place to be here after we've had like 2 weeks of major events and groundbreakings. You know, first of all, I want to talk about the Gladys Douglas Preserve. That closed last week, and it's 44 acres of pristine, beautiful land. There we are. And with a 55 acre lake, almost 100 acres of native Florida. The City of Dunedin owns the property as of June 13th. And there are so many people that gave so much to this. You see them all there, waving signs, donating money, calling their elected officials. It was just truly a miraculous group community effort. And there's so many contributors. I do want to give some special thanks. I know that Jennifer Bramley, Mayor Bujalski, and our city attorney, Nikki Day, worked especially hard. The commission, we all worked in our own special ways. Bob Hackworth Jr., who gave tours, who did everything to promote this. The Sierra Club, the Native Plant Society, Michelle Birnbaum, who became very interested in this as an archaeologist, Nicole Mathias. Big thanks to Duggan Cooley and the Pinellas Community Foundation, who were the recipients of funding, but also really raised awareness and brought in 2 huge sponsors to pay for this property. There was a huge donation by the Shermans and another huge anonymous donation from people. And then when you talk about it, you have to understand that you have the 2 big donors, but then you had donors across the state in all degrees of whatever they could give to make this happen. I have a special thanks to Leadership Florida, who toured the property and really tried to get the word out across the state for people to get involved in this, make donations, help however they could. The breakdown of the cost is the city put in $2 million, the county put in $3.5 million, and the Pinellas Community Foundation, with those 2 big donors of $2 million each, then also $500,000 was raised just by, as I said, people giving of what they could to make this happen, for a grand total of $10 million. They'll still be working with SwiftMud. SwiftMud now really owns the lake, but they will be working actively with SwiftMud to allow passive recreation use, such as a kayak, no motorized use. 18 acres is a conservation easement, and this will be held by the county. And this acreage contains the very famous lichen, the bald scrub, and the gopher tortoises. Now I want to talk about, if we can go to our second photo, the groundbreaking. City Hall. City Hall, we've been talking about this for 21 years since FASNA said, you know, the places where our employees are working are just, they are not providing a stable environment to the work effort and to them. And the groundbreaking was held for the new City Hall on June 11th, 2021. And the building will commence on June 1st, and it is slated to be finished in late 2022. The cost is $22 million. The design is the wave, and the wave was, the architect is Harvard Jolly. The contractor is Manhattan Construction. There will be a public art component both within and without. And you can see all those happy people throwing that dirt. So we have started now with our wonderful new City Hall, the Wave. And that's one of our best pictures. That's where we all said, thanks to everybody here, you know, we did it. And there's nobody happier than our employees that were working in those antiquated buildings. The next thing I would like to talk about is Ava. Do we have a photo of Ava? There she is. Ava is a self-autonomous vehicle, no emissions. It is not run by a driver, although a driver will be on site with the vehicle. When I rode it the other day, it was such a fun celebration. He was in Ava, and he was explaining exactly how it works. It went to St. Petersburg first. We are the second in line to have this. We have it for 3 months, and it begins while the Blue Jays are still here till I think next Monday or Tuesday. It will run up and down Douglas. After the Blue Jays leave, the MLB leaves, then it will be running up and down Main Street. This is a free amenity. I've seen people getting on at the library, and I've seen people using the big Ocean Optics lot for places to get on to use this amenity. Ava is really innovative, and we're hoping that this form of transportation we can maybe keep, because it's the wave of the future. And I know Jeff Gow, he's been particularly interested in electric vehicles and self-autonomous vehicles. He is our liaison to the PSTA, who is our partner with this, the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority. So Ava, go down and ride it. I rode it. It was a sweet ride, so please go use that. I want to talk for a moment about historic preservation. We started HPAC, the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, in 2016. It was appointed. The commission passed the Historic Preservation Ordinance in 2018. At this time, we have 16 properties that are currently designated by the City of Dunedin. And the first was the Scottish American Society. They worked very hard to get to be the first for that designation. It is now known as the Scottish Cultural Center. That building was originally an annex to the elementary school, the old brick school. Many of these properties are organically growing in historic areas such as Wilkie, Loudon, and President Street. I want you to know that if you would like more information, I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. Ordinance is not that difficult. What we want to do is give people the ability to come in, and they have worked so hard on many of these beautiful little bungalows and other beautiful craftsmen, and give them the ability to designate and to keep that property for many years to come in the public and to the public's benefit. Historic preservation is we have so many beautiful quality of life here in our city, but historic preservation is one of them. And we want to continue to work hard to see these organically growing pools of homes that eventually we hope will become historic districts. So saying that, there's just all good news. And I'm just a happy person that got to come talk to you all after 2 weeks of celebrations. And I'll be happy to address any questions from you. If you want any more information on historic preservation, you can call Frances Sharp. Frances Leong Sharp is our liaison. You can call her at 298-3184 or send something to fsharp@dunedinfl.net. And I'll be happy to entertain any questions you all might have.
I believe you're going to get off easy this time.
Oh, that's what happens when you come with happy news.
Yes.
And everybody is celebrating and happy. And, it's been such a tough year, year and a half. It's been such a tough year for everyone. And I do want to say, our employees, they have just met the test. And they have gone above and beyond. And we're so proud of their dedication to all of our citizens. So in every pandemic, I guess you might say, there is a silver lining because you see the best in people come out. And I'll look forward to seeing you all again when you begin to meet in person. And I hope maybe that'll be soon. But thank you very much for having me this morning. It was my great pleasure.
Thank you very much. Well, this time, I'd like to reintroduce the spotlight, which will be Dunedin High School. And what I'd like to do is introduce our principal. I call him Mr. K all the time, so I'm not sure if he formally goes by doctor or Mr. at this point, but James Himlinger is the principal of Dunedin High School with more than 35 years of experience in education. He grew up in a family of educators, which inspired him to pursue his degree in teaching from Central Michigan University. He later received his master's degree in counseling at Michigan State University and furthered his education by obtaining his ED specialist degree from Saginaw Valley State University. James began his career in Michigan, where he had gained extensive administrative, curriculum, counseling, and organization and planning skills. James' father was from Florida. His grandparents live in Dunedin. He spent many years both as a child and as an adult and visiting here in the Dunedin area. In 2010, after 25 years as a Michigan educator and principal, he moved to Florida and began his career here in Pinellas County. Since relocating to Pinellas County, he has been assistant principal at Northeast High School and transferred to Dunedin High School, where he was assistant principal for one semester before coming to high school principal. James enjoys NASCAR, hunting, and fishing. He's a member of St. Rendell Catholic Church and church time spent with family and his new grandson. He takes much pride in his faith, family, and work. We also have Mr. Christopher Settle joining us today, the assistant principal at Dunedin High School with 20 years of experience as an educator. A native of Mississippi, his parents are both educators as well. As an education graduate of Mississippi State University, he began his career as an English teacher and football coach at Philadelphia High School. After a 4-year stint, Mr. Settles attended the University of Alabama Birmingham to earn his degree in broadcast communications and began a new career in radio in Birmingham, Alabama, in the market. 3 years later, he married the former Mrs. Pamela Sudd, and both of them moved to Dunedin, Florida, where Miss Sudd returned to education in 2004 as a social studies teacher at Countryside High School. Upon earning his master's degree in education leadership in 2018, Mr. Settle received his first administrative post at Dunedin High School. Chris' parents still live in Mississippi as retired educators. He and Pam will celebrate 18 years of marriage this year and have a son, Jackson, who is 15 years of age. Resident Bolsmore, Mom owns a media company, Lightshine Media, and is active in local politics. So at this time, what I'd like to do is turn the floor over to each of you, and y'all can take it from there.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin, and thank you, friends and neighbors. Mr. K, you're on. Good.
Nope. Perfect. Now I want to thank all of you for all the help that you've had with not only our school, but with our programming since March of last year. It's been an incredible year with starting on March 13th of last year, and we shut down right through the end of this year and see where we're at with the opening over the summer and for August 11th for us. Right now, I'm going to be splitting back and forth because we always have our graduation meetings on Friday morning at 8. So right now I have 2 computers on. I have my Zoom here, and then I have the other one on. So I'm going to go back and forth. And I do want to say that it's been incredible to be able to have our students. And it seems like last year, at the end of the year, it was far harder for us to have that March till June with our students being totally shut off from everything and staff. And this year, with what we've had for the whole year with the social distancing and the mask and having the spacing that we've had with no fans at games, it's amazing how we're slowly opening up and the excitement and the accomplishments that we've had here at Dunedin High School and with our students and staff. Mr. Settle has been outstanding with our senior activity week that we've had with starting with the parade, which was incredible to have our students and staff in the parade to go downtown with Main Street with our lampposts and having that. Jory's done a great job working with us and with the city. And then also last night, we happened to have a senior recognition night. It was just for the seniors and their parents. They came in and they were loud and proud. It was incredible for them to have that fun. So now we're getting ready because we're planning right now that as summer school and August 11th starts up, that we're open. We're open for business. We want to make sure that we have everything that's going to be inviting and try to get as back to normal as possible to where we were at for the start of the 1920 school year. And Mr. Settle, if I can have you take over from there, I'm going to leave the mic in my ear or the headphone piece in my ear while I go back and forth with the graduation meeting with Dr. Vasquez here too.
Thank you, Mr. Kay. And again, thank you guys for letting us come and just share just a few minutes about what we have here at Dunedin and also too, how we can partner with you going forward. But I just want to echo what Mr. Kay said and what I was able to say earlier when Commissioner Tornga brought up the parade on Tuesday is how open and supportive the city has been since that shutdown last March. We were trying to find any number of ways to showcase and bring something to our students and our seniors last year. We were no one on campus. We were still able to do some things with them. The city provided decorations and we did lampposts and street corners and neighborhoods and downtown in red and white as much as we could and encouraged our students to drive through on the day they came by and picked up their cap and gowns. We had to wait till July to finally have graduation. And even then it was at Bright House Field where they were just kind of walking up to the podium, getting a picture with only 4 members of their family and then walking off to the edge. But we were able to hold a ceremony. And then going into this year, a lot of activities the students lost. This graduating class of 2021 never had a prom. They did, of course, it was canceled last year. They didn't get to have it this year as well. And so try to imagine going through your high school experience and not having that prom or that homecoming. And that's what these young people have experienced, but they've been resilient. Our students have been, there the entire time and struggled with the online, but, we worked through it. They've worked through it and they're closing strong. We're super proud of them. But again, just want to say thank you to the city and all the support they provided. I could go on and on about that for a few more minutes, but you guys have been fantastic. And I mentioned earlier, the mayor and all 5 commissioners took time out of their day. They were in that parade with those students and going through downtown. And it was really cool because the restaurants were full. They were getting ready for the baseball game. We had a lot of visitors downtown and they cheered. Every single one of them cheered our kids when they came through. So that was really, really cool to experience that on Tuesday. And then, of course, last night, the recognition night. Wednesday, our baseball team won their regional championship. They're in the Final Four. So they will compete for Monday night. If they win there, they play for a state championship on Tuesday night. So we're rooting on our Falcon baseball team as they keep going forward. Great group of young men, super excited for them and that experience that they'll have next Monday. Some of the things that, like I said, I wanted to share with each of you and your organizations is one of the things that when I had the opportunity to come here as an administrator and when I was in what we call the pool, as an opportunity administrator, I had 5 interviews. There were 6 openings. I interviewed for 5 of them, but I had Dunedin circled. I had it highlighted. I had it marked on the calendar. That's the job that I had my heart set on. And fortunately enough, the district agreed to have the opportunity to come here. And one of the reasons I wanted to come here was it's a true community school. It's a hometown high school. And that's just been, as you can see, the honest truth that the city and the community really supports this school. And I go everywhere and always meet former Falcons, which even makes it even better. We have fourth generation Falcons currently walking our hallways. So it's a really tight knit community, something to be special and be a part of. And we just want to continue to grow that community piece. We think it's very important to build not only a school community, but also to connect our students to the overall community. And with that being said, your organization, if you have events, you have opportunities that you think would be beneficial for your organization, as well as connecting our students to the community, please contact me, let me know, and see what I can do to get some students to help. I know that our ROTC does hundreds of hours of community service here, our Navy Junior ROTC. We're about to lose Captain Fasinelli. He's retiring, going to greener pastures, but we're super excited for the gentleman that we have coming in to replace him, just to pick up where Captain Fasinelli has left off. I know that with Dunedin Cares, Commissioner Tornga, I think we have donated 2 tons of food the last 2 years to that organization. And so that's just one group. We have lots of other groups, organizations that I know could be beneficial to you and make that connection. I think it's important for teenagers to be able to have that community connection, to see charity at work and be able to help their fellow neighbors. So please let us know if you have any ideas or anything going forward. But also, too, just thank you to the support we get from the city and also to organizations. Dunedin Youth Guild just supported a brand new program we have coming in, which is our robotics and ROTC combination team. It's called CPERCH. It's underwater drones. And so we're getting ready to purchase a pool and some underwater drones. And our students are going to be engaged in that, learning how those operate, and they'll be in competitions going forward. So that's just another piece to help expand our students and their opportunity to get real world experience that will hopefully build toward a very successful career for them going forward. So a lot of good things happening here. But again, we would love to get more involved with you guys. When those opportunities happen, please let us know. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be in the spotlight. And it's a good thing. It doesn't happen too often. It's appreciated when it does.
No, you're welcome.
And I'd be remiss, by the way, Mr. Franklin, thank you for all the support you give our robotics program. Mr. Franklin meets with us every other week and has been a super supporter and basically our foundation. He's really done a lot to help support us. And Mr. Franklin, we're indebted to you as we continue to build that program for 4 years. We continue to build it. So thank you, sir.
Well, you're welcome. Every time you hear about education, it's inspiring. When you go to the high school, you see all these students working with robotics. They're programming, they're building them. I mean, it's just exciting. It's an exciting thing to see. And it's such a positive light on the education what our high school is actually doing here in Dunedin. It is amazing. But does anyone have any questions?
No, Mr. Franklin, again, thank you for all that you've done for our school and our program. And we are thrilled to be able to connect this with our NJROTC program with the robotics, ensuring that with the even the knowledge that we have from our NJROTC staff.
Well, you're all welcome. It is a great opportunity to serve. But does anyone have any questions for our principal or assistant principal? If not, we'll move on to our program, and I'll turn the floor over to Stephanie to introduce our program speaker and our program for today.
Good morning, everybody. Today our program is going to be presented by Natalie Gass. Natalie joined the City of Dunedin in 2018 as the Sustainability Program Coordinator. She has always had a passion for caring for the earth as it supports all life, people, wildlife, and ecosystems. Natalie enjoys serving the City of Dunedin and its residents by supporting environmental policies, projects, and education. She is grateful for the environmentally forward-focused community and the local organizations and municipalities who work together to take environmental action. Natalie holds a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Geography. And with that, Natalie, please go ahead.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I'm going to share my screen really quick. So here in Dunedin, we are so excited about all of the sustainability programs that we have. And really, it's a huge thanks to all of the partnerships between the residents, the businesses, the commission, other municipalities in the region who are working together. We can see that all of these partnerships between schools and the county and the extension offices really create a huge force in our community to make these programs so successful. And so I just want to start by thanking all of the people who've been involved so far and continue to give their time, money, and resources towards these efforts. I also like to start that, sometimes when we talk about the environment, sustainability, and all the things happening, it can be very daunting. But I always like to say how everything is connected on our planet. So if we start somewhere, there's always amazing ripple effects that can take place. Here in Dunedin, we run on 6 EPIC goals. 2 of these directly tie into sustainability and the environment, specifically numbers 3 and 4. And you can see them here is to promote Dunedin as the premier coastal community, protecting and improving our natural resources for the enjoyment of all. And the 4th one is to be the statewide model for environmental sustainability stewardship. So these goals really run how the city is, and it helps push us forward in terms of these programs. One thing we're very excited about is that we have been awarded the Florida Green Building Coalition, the Green Local Government Award, multiple years in a row. In 2013, we were the first city in the state of Florida to receive platinum level, which is the highest level. And then in 2019, when we recertified, we actually achieved the highest score in the platinum level that the state has seen. So you'll be able to see today some of the reasons why we were able to achieve that really high score. First off is our Florida Gulf Coast Hope Spot project, and Dunedin is the home beacon city for this, as we are located quite centrally in this entire Hope Spot. If you look at the map, the black outline is the entire Hope Spot, and I know you're probably wondering, what does that mean? Well, it's a designated area that will be protected, and more education will come about on how to protect it better, where you get your local municipalities involved, as well as the schools. So this was done by a group of residents coming together and partnering with a program called Mission Blue. Dr. Sylvia Earle created Mission Blue, and she is a world-renowned scientist, oceanographer, activist who actually grew up here in the Dunedin area. And she's creating these hope spots all throughout the world. So it's so wonderful that the entire Gulf Coast has been designated as a hope spot, and that's certainly celebrated here in Dunedin. One way we're celebrating that is certainly through art, and we love to incorporate art here in Dunedin. So many of you may know the water tower will be transformed into a hatching egg with 2 different turtles on each side, one a gopher tortoise and one a sea turtle, really giving thanks to Dr. Sylvia Earle and all of the people who have dedicated their time towards this project. Another really exciting project that we have here in Dunedin is the Ready for 100 Clean Energy Commitment Goals, and that is to first power municipal operations entirely with 100% renewable energy by 2035, and then community-wide by 2050. So these are different goals that we're working on with Duke Energy and many of the other, I think there's probably 140 either cities or counties in the nation who have taken this pledge. So we're working with Sierra Club and their other partners in order to move forward in this goal. One way we're doing that is we've provided a solar energy grant program, and this is open to any Dunedin resident or business where you can receive a rebate on the solar power. And it's been pretty popular. We've had over 30 homeowners here in Dunedin receive that, and that's helped them financially put solar on their home. We've also worked with Duke Energy on their Park and Plug program, and this is really expanding electric vehicle infrastructure throughout our city and throughout the state. So here in Dunedin, we have 10 new parking spots that you can charge your electric vehicle. It's currently no cost to the driver. And those range from level 2 chargers, which will charge your car in a few hours. It's perfect for if you want to go downtown, see the sights, or you can go and locate a fast charger, which we have 2 here in Dunedin, and those will charge a vehicle in probably 30 to 45 minutes. So you can find all of the locations and if they're available at certain times by using the Green Lots app. And just to show where those stations are, there's one up here by the Community Center and the Fine Arts Center. We have a few downtown, and then a few by our library, Hale Activity Center, and the stadium. Dunedin just launched its Compost program, and this includes a free 2-hour course on how to compost. Anyone's welcome to take that course. And then residents who are eligible inside the City of Dunedin limits can receive a free compost bin as supplies last. And this has been very exciting. People have been calling and emailing, just so excited about this program. There's lots of online resources that the city has provided on our webpage. And we also have this cute little compost display at the library because there's tons of resources at the library as well. And it's been a really exciting thing to bring this forward. And we're getting lots of really great feedback. Dunedin also has wonderful parks and recreation. I always like to share this land distribution pie chart because our second major land use is our parks. We have over 200 acres of green space, and that doesn't even include the Douglas property that the city has just acquired. So these parks are maintained by our wonderful Parks and Recreation Department. They really provide lots of opportunities for invasive plant removals, different coastal cleanups. They do counts of different species, including our gopher tortoises, and they create lots of other programming to really celebrate our parks and our natural resources here in Dunedin. Dunedin has also been a tree city for over 30 years, and we celebrate that through the annual Arbor Day tree giveaway, through special tree planting programs on our streets, and other ways that we creatively implement different infrastructure to promote better health of our trees. And as you can see, we're always trying to expand the tree canopy here in Dunedin, which is always appreciated. Our stormwater program is very expansive as well. And through the master plan, there's more education around what can and cannot go down the down these, oh, my brain is, the drains. I'm sorry, the drains. So you want to make sure nothing is going down the drains because those go directly into a natural water body, whether that's the Gulf Coast or a marsh or something of that manner. And so there's certainly more education coming out about that and will be shared with our residents. Dunedin always partners with the Wyland National Foundation to do the water challenge every year. And this really helps promote water conservation through a series of different things you can do. We have rain barrels here in Dunedin. We have certain water restrictions that we educate residents on, and then certainly information on how to plant an ocean-friendly garden. Our education programs are wonderful. They range for all different ages. We have different nature camps in the summer for students and lots of webinars and in-person programs for all of our residents and visitors. So you can find all of those on our environmental calendar on the city webpage. The city also has a series of advisory committees. This is just a few of the committees that I highlighted that do a lot of work around sustainability and the environment, but there are many other committees that you can get involved with here in Dunedin, and we are very appreciative of all the work that they do for the city as well. So all of this information is going to be compiled into our Sustainability Master Plan, which we have named DREAM. That stands for Dunedin's Resilient Environmental Action Master Plan. And this is a really unique plan in that we have our residents, business owners, and other organizations working together to write and create and develop this master plan, and really understanding that it is written by the people, for the people, and it's all encompassing of the many sustainability programs that we have already in place and the goals that we want to achieve. So this information can all be found on our Dunedin Green Scene page under our city website. We always have lots of information and environmental calendar, environmental news, and it will kind of break down the various resources that are there as well. We have a recycle room by room guide where you can go into each room and see what is recyclable in the kitchen, what's not recyclable, and see all the other areas of your home. We have lots of different blog posts and information, as well as videos on our YouTube page for how to recycle correctly, and lots of other information on sustainability. So I really thank you for having me here today, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, Natalie, it's Peggotty Packman. I noticed on the DREAM sessions that you held, you had student involvement. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I think that's really critical in a community outreach.
Yeah, absolutely. So we took our community forums, which were listening sessions for the DREAM, and we kind of split them up into just students, and then we had parents and teachers, and then we had all other community members and our business partners. So the students, we really were so thankful for the Dunedin High School for participating and their continued participation in DREAM. I think, there's going to be a great partnership going forward, including an Earth Club. And we had other schools participate. One, for example, Our Lady of Lourdes School here in Dunedin, it was really a project for their science students. So they all turned in all these ideas that they had for making the city more sustainable. And so certainly all of those are being incorporated through the public comment section of DREAM, because students are the next generation. This is what's going to impact them. And so we wanted them to be involved in the conversation because this is their future.
Thank you.
I could follow up.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, Ms. Gass has worked, and she and I have been in communication on several occasions. I attended one of the student forums back in the spring. We did have a little less student involvement, of course, this year because our Earth Club was not able to formulate with the students being in different locations online, different places like that. But she has done a good job of staying in contact with us here. We're looking forward to get the Earth Club put back together for next year and get them more involved as well.
Anyone else? I'd like to say I'm very excited about the water tower art project. I think that's a wonderful idea to use that water tower with the traffic that goes by there. And when we talk about touching up the neighborhood a little bit, I think that's a grand idea. And I'd like to say the tree giveaway is fantastic. I have taken advantage of that over the past 2 years. I lost 2 large trees in the front yard due to passing storms. And I now have 4 live oaks. Hopefully, of course, this could be a couple of years where I can enjoy any shade, but I think that was just a wonderful idea. And when I went last year, almost the trees were gone. This year, I made sure I got there early so I could get there and get it. But that is, I really support that idea. I love that idea. But anyone else have any questions? I really enjoyed it. It was very informative. Thank you very much. I didn't realize
Thank you for having
how
me.
extensive it was. I greatly appreciate it.